Hi friends, this is DaintyTank. I am back, finally. It's been a few months, mainly because I had top surgery. Ta-da! It's flat. I am so happy to have had that opportunity to have top surgery, which is very important for me. And I wanted to stop and take a minute to talk about it, mainly because I want to actually publicly announce, and not announce, but more acknowledge the fact that, this is why I have been gone from my channel. I didn't get to talk to anybody about it, honestly, because anybody on the DaintyTank channel, mainly because Dainty Wife and I were trying to figure out how to manage, how to also be foster parents, and honestly, it was a lot. But wanted to stop and talk about it a little bit here, and if you don't mind, take a minute. I will say that I am going to try to be getting back into regular videos once I am feeling fully recovered. I'm pumped about it. I have missed the channel. I have missed doing this with all of you. So please feel free to give me all of your comments and thoughts, because I just read them all and I love being able to be part of this community. So the purpose of this video is to tell you, hi, I had top surgery, I've been gone, but I'm meaning to come back. Also to take a moment and pay attention to Trans Day of Visibility, which is today, when I'm posting this. I think it's very important to be transparent, but in every way that I can, of it being very much a public person, trying to bring education to everybody here. So if you don't mind, I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey up to top surgery, as well as what it meant to me and how it went. And, if you're up for listening, I really would appreciate it. So first and foremost, I think people have heard my voice changing over the last, 3 years. Slowly over the channel. If you go back to the first videos on the channel, I am able to do the squeaky Erica voice, the Valley Girl voice. Now I cannot. Not one bit. I am trying my best to expand my vocal range, but right now it's kind of locked in this small gravelly area. Working on it. It takes time. It takes time. Over the course of the channel, when I started it, I had not yet fully come out or really realized it in a lot of ways. I knew things were different forever, but I didn't feel comfortable coming into kind of my own skin. In a lot of ways, my relationship with the Dainty Wife alongside this channel have really helped me grow and become more in who I am, and I'm so happy about that. Specifically, I am non-binary, and very happily non-binary. Non-binary, trans-masc. I still use lesbian as a term, mainly because it's such an inclusive term, and I feel very connected to the overall community. I use they, them pronouns, and I use them both personally and professionally as well. I'm very forthright, as I am here on the DaintyTank channel, of, hey, it's important for us to, be our authentic selves as much as we possibly can. And I think it's important. But you can definitely hear my voice changing and cracking as we went. I went through, and I've talked about this on Peyton's post-op visits, which is a game that specifically is trans-specific post-op, and talking about the trans top surgery capability. I've talked a little bit about capability. I just went through this. The trans top surgery aftermath and recovery, what that looks like. I talked a little bit there about my breast reduction, because I did go through a breast reduction in 2019. And then I went through top surgery in the last couple of months, and it's kind of been one of those, well, why didn't you just get top surgery at the first time? And the answer really is that when I got my breast reduction, which, I had, not kidding you, size I, chest there, I wanted to go as small as I possibly could. I was like, I wanted A. I ended up with a D, and it was very sad for me. Mainly because when I went in and was asking for that, my surgeon was just like, I'll go as small as I can to keep everything as it is. And I'm like, but I don't want everything as it is. But that didn't trigger anybody to say, like, well, is this the right surgery for you? Or what is it that's your end goal? And I didn't have the words for it. So even though that was a phenomenal surgery for me to be able to feel better in myself and be able to actually start doing things like working out and doing day-to-day basics, it was disheartening overall. So after being very vulnerable with my wife, I was like, I want to go through top surgery. I want it gone. I want them gone. And that process took about 3 years. It's not a quick thing, at least in the U.S. where I am. It's not a quick thing, and it's a privilege, and one that I take very seriously, because a lot of people are not only cost prohibited from this, but also barred via different stage gates you have to go through. So many bureaucracy holes. Oh my god. So, starting this journey, I had the conversation with my wife. I had to take a look at and read all of our different medical papers to see if it, and our insurance to see if it even is covered. Luckily, part of it was on this one, and I was very happy about that. But not all, mainly because of the fact that, it falls under the term of plastic surgery. And even though it's not something that, is, it's fairly life-saving, period. It's a life-saving thing, because I feel more connected and in my body than I've ever felt ever in my life, and I'm so happy about that. And so many people need that. The big thing is starting down this journey, it was taking a look at what was available, how I did it. So you have to go through and be with a therapist for a certain period of time. It's very state by state in the U.S. For us, I live in Massachusetts. It's you need to be with a provider for 6 months. Luckily, I already go to therapy. I always encourage therapy. Therapy is a great thing for everybody. But specifically, I luckily had an amazing therapist who had already been with me for over a year and was just like, yes, let's do this. Let's figure this out. They have to write a recommendation letter. And then you also have to get on the books with a plastic surgeon, which that doesn't mean that you're going to get that plastic surgery immediately. It actually means that you're going to be consulted about it. Now, I scheduled and had to wait a year for that consult. When I got to the consult, I already had the letter of recommendation ready, and was all like, here we go, let's do this. And they're like, yes, we can do this. Yes, it means a lot. Yes, you qualify. However, we are booking the surgery a year out. Also, there's prerequisites you have to follow through. You have to figure out your PCP, because you have to have a dedicated PCP who can see you for many pre-op visits. And basically, like, as they said, kick the tires to make sure that, like, I'm not gonna die on them, which makes sense. I also prefer not to die. And then we have effectively a game of waiting as well as putting in all of the information of, not only the therapist letter, but also making sure that my prescriptions were okay to be able to go through the surgery, make sure that I'm healthy enough, go through the blood work, because I have to have blood work checkups to make sure that I'm okay. Also had multiple pre-op visits, not only with the plastic surgeon, but also our PCP along this side. And the whole time they're also having to ping insurance saying, like, here are the stage gates, are you going to cover this? It's kind of a lot. I was very lucky in that I was put on a waiting list of, hey, if something opens up, would you like to move up? And I was able, I got a call and it was like, hey, do you think you can make the surgery date this time? And I was like, 4 months earlier than I was expected? Heck yes, I will. I will do that. So I jumped on and was able to go through all of the hoops on that. Luckily, everything kind of just fell into place. For anything that you're going to take a period of time away from work, if you live in the U.S., it's FMLA, or Federal Medical Family Leave Act. FMLA, yeah, Leave Act, yeah, Family Leave Act. But specifically, that just gives you federal protection of, like, you are a protected employee. In Massachusetts, there's another thing which is called PFML, which is Paid Family Leave, Medical Leave. And you get basically a portion of your salary while you're going through surgery. Your employers, depending on how you're employed, could either, most of them, unfortunately, in the U.S., it's unpaid. It's just unpaid time. If you're a salaried employee, you might be able to go through short-term disability with your employer, but just more bureaucracy to get up to that piece. Getting up to the actual surgery date, having gone through breast reduction, I knew I needed to get some stuff prepped, so I specifically went and got a wedge pillow, which basically has a wedge here that is like a triangle, and then like a scoop, because you can't lay flat. You can't. You're gonna be sleeping up. You're gonna be sleeping up, and then, like, in this position, just gonna be locked like this for a while. And you're also going to be unable to do anything outside of T-Rex range. If you haven't heard of T-Rex range, it is literally this. It is this this range. I am outside of T-Rex range. I am on the more healed side of things, but I also had some complications, not with the scarring or anything. That actually looks really good. I have a traditional cut all the way through. It's actually really nice. Really nice set. I'm really happy with that. My doctor was so phenomenal with all of this. But, specifically, I had bronchitis, actually, from the breathing tube they put in me, that I'm still wary and worn down and recovering from, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that's going to happen to you. It just happened to me. One thing else when we were going through this, my wife was phenomenal. The Dainty wife always is phenomenal, because you hear me talk about how amazing they are all the time. But she they pronouns, specifically made a mastectomy pillow, which basically is a pillow that wraps around a little bit, and she actually made it and, like, put clasps in the back. So for me, I was able to wear that mastectomy pillow to, like, just kind of hold me in and like give me a pillow buffer, which was great, especially since if you've been here for a while, you know Pixel, my cat, all over me all the time. So you got the mastectomy pillow that gives you a little bit of buffer. You can buy them on Etsy. Definitely just put yourself a few weeks ahead if you're going to order them. Also, don't put ice packs in. There's some with ice pack capability. Don't, because this is all nerve damage when you're going through. It is. Anytime you're basically changing up your structure. So that actually will cause more damage by having ice there, because you won't be able to actually feel if things are different. Overall, very helpful for me. I am going to start getting to the TMI type of conversation, talking about actual surgical pieces and a little bit more of the nitty gritty. If you don't want to hear that, then thank you for listening this far. Also, please check back and support any of the amazing trans artists and developers and trans games that we play here on this amazing channel. Okay, TMI pieces. T-Rex range means that you can't do a normal American wipe with toilet paper. So, bidet. Bidet is your friend. Bidet is the day of your friend. Now, I, as the excited person I am, decided to install a bidet. And in doing so, found two flaws with our plumbing system that worked against me to immediately flood our house. Yeah, that was fun. We had to actually turn off the water main to the house because effectively the stop to the actual toilet and also the flow pump both broke at the same time when I installed the bidet. You can get bidets actually around $60 to $80. They're not on the cheaper side, but they're definitely very helpful. Very helpful. Just basically allowing yourself to be able to self-toilet. And of course all my foster kids are excited about them. They're like, yes, we get that. So it was a win-win for our house overall. Getting into the surgery itself, one of the biggest things is that I did not at all want nipples. Now, that is actually a more common thing than you think of, anybody who's having top surgery. You can either have nipples or not have nipples. Depending on your physician, how they preserve the nipples is different. Sometimes they just cut out the pepperoni, effectively, and put it on the side. It's effectively dead tissue at that. And so they have to, reapply it, and it's basically zombie nipples. Sorry. Or you effectively just remove that whole mid area and have just skin. I decided to go no nipples for two reasons. One is that I think it is awesome to have a giant piece of just skin that I can do tattoos on that would make me feel good and connected to my body. And then the second thing is that I specifically do not at all enjoy nipples. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of TMI here, but we were already in that area, so you're listening on. Specifically, let's talk about nipples. Now, I'd gone through the breast reduction piece, and before having that breast reduction, I didn't really care about them. They were just not really sensitive or anything, whatever. After, because they had done the zombie nipple. Now, this doesn't mean that it's going to be the same thing for every physician. Some physicians, like my physician, were going to do a different type where they keep it attached to the skin and basically form it around the nipple, which basically makes more of an anchor and less of a anchor and eye. So you actually have your skin connected and able to be, keeping blood supply all the way through, so they're alive the whole time. Some physicians can do that, but it is different scarring. For my breast reduction, it was zombie nipples. Zombie nipples. Now, for me, how I experienced that is that they were absolutely dead. No sensation. Nothing. Which was fine. Until it got on the hotter side, like the hotter days of the year. And then suddenly, because of the heat, they came roaring back with sensation. And all they did was they came back with sensation, and the sensation was pain. So it was just screaming nipples. Just came from the dead. Just, oh, way too much. So I did not want nipples at all. They are doomed to me. They are endothermic orbs. I do not want them. So for me, it was two benefits. Now, that meant, that I had to submit, going through the submission process, I was upfront with my provider, and they had to submit for, top surgery without nipples. Because there's two different submissions that you have to do for insurance. One if you're going to keep nipples, and one without the nipples. And for me, it was without the nipples. Some of the physicians do both, just in case you change your mind. But mine, I was very clear. No, thank you. Coming home from top surgery, I kept asking the dainty wife if they left the nipples on me. It was very important. She was like, no, you're fine. You're good. You look good. I had drains. Now that's where you have tubes that go up and basically go into balls at the end that are discharge, and it's to discharge blood and plasma that builds up. Basically just gets rid of fluid, and you have to kind of change it a couple times a day, and you are also basically needing help for all of that, and you're needing help for around 3 weeks solidly, if not a little more. Restriction is really hard. One other thing for me that I actually did was right before surgery, I went to get a massage from someone who's in the queer community and knew about what top surgery would do. And that was amazing because she was able to tell me kind of some pre-op stuff. What would I look like? How would that recovery be, especially muscular, and how that works. And then after about 6 weeks, went back and was able to do another round of work with the massage therapist, who was able to kind of just make things loosen up, because you're locked in this position and the T-Rexing for so long that your muscles just lock up. So that's just a thing to consider while you're going through all of this as well. If you're going through all of this, if you're supporting a friend who's going through this, honestly, some of the best things you can do is get them food. Just give them food. Bring over a soup. Come over and watch a couple episodes with them. Anything of that sort. They're just gonna be basically a little locked up gremlin, and so they can't really do much besides just maybe watch a few things and then nap, because their body's just recovering, and it's gonna take a while. That's been my journey overall with top surgery and kind of how this has been. I am lucky to have had this opportunity. I am lucky to have you as an amazing channel who just cares to listen to me ramble for nearly half an hour. I'm sorry about that, but I just started talking. And I just am so excited to come back. I love you all so much. I hope that you reach out with care and love and patience to all of your trans friends this weekend and more, especially with everything going on in the world. It's hard, and it's such a a rough time because these issues are considered political and sensitive when it's really just being kind and being a human. And it's one of those times where you really should go out of your way to help kind of just initiate things with your trans friends and your family members, because they're dealing with so much that having someone just say, hey, thinking of you, it'd mean a lot. It would mean a lot. It means a lot that you're here. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye!